It's welcome. Hello, Steve. Christopher, how you doing?
Hi, Christopher.
And you're Steve Tiller, correct?
I am Steve Tiller.
RightStuffKids.com. And this is one of your books, Henry Hump.
Born to Fly.
One of my favorites, Henry Hump, Born to Fly. And tell me more about this book. And it's award-winning, right?
Won an award. It was the Visionary Resources Award. I didn't know what it won. They sent it to me after the fact. But it's about a... it had two purposes when I wrote this book. One was to talk about spiritual transformation, and the other one was to tell a story about one of my friends that had a
What's his name?
kind of
Henry?
a rough life. His name was Henry.
Henry, very good.
He kind of had a rough life, but it it's one of my favorite books. Mostly, not only because the message is so cool, but also the art. I think the art. This art was done by Rob Cremeans, who's my normal illustrator, and he just did a phenomenal job.
He did.
The art in this particular book is just so wild that it's just great stuff.
So bright,
and
vibrant,
talks about. It really takes a spiritual message of change and puts it into the terms of being a caterpillar and a butterfly. And it's, you know, most caterpillar days are filled with munching goo, the sticky stuff inside a leaf that comes in different hues. We may spend each day crunching and grinding up a few, then chewing, gnawing, nibbling, and drinking down the bird. Some goo is red, some is yellow, and some is greenish blue. If you've ever stepped on one, you know that this is true. Myrtle with her funny eyes was with Henry munching brunch when Norm and Stinky showed up to gobble up their leafy lunch. Whirling as they mowed down staggering swaths of greens, shearing and slashing, then slopping up the cream. Henry stared and said, "Glittering gobs of goo, don't you think of anything but slurping up you too? Some of us have questions. Don't you even care? Like who we are, or what, or why we're even here? What is this life we're living? Who's behind the scene? There's got to be more here than slurping green cuisine." And it really talks about, you know, our life. What do we do with our life?
Those are great questions. What were those questions again? It said Henry was asking, those are very introspective questions. Yeah. He said,
what is this life we're living?
Who's behind the scene?
There's got to be more here than slurping green cuisine.
Yes. Beautiful.
You know, something's watching over us and helping us to grow. We're here to serve a purpose, but what it is I do not know. You know, it's just a...
this is a beautiful illustration.
Yeah, it is really pretty. It talks about the truth behind our life, that mystery we can't see, which is a reference to God, is calling on us all to become as much as we can be. And this was a story, this kind of had both characters in it. It's kind of reminiscent of the caterpillar in Alice, I think. Norm looked at Henry, he thought Henry was a nut. Well, this part really is talking, one of the purposes I had in this book was really to talk about life after death, and to kind of plant that seed in kids, because my job is not so much to teach kids doctrine, it's just to till soil, to make sure that kids, when they're contacted, it's my personal belief that we are all contacted by God at some point during our lifetime, and given given the opportunity to be of service, and we have to make sure kids are open and aware that that's going to happen for them. So my purpose is to convince kids there's more to life than just the stuff that we see. You know, the values and the life behind the life, so to speak, is what's really important. And so this kind of was my way of kind of getting them in tune for kind of life after life, which is, you know, caterpillars spin cocoons, both you and I know why, but to a caterpillar it's a scary do or die. To our wormy friends it seems like a knitted tomb, marking the end of life, not just another room. The little caterpillars don't know the braided place will lead them to a new life where they can fly in space. Henry was suspicious and did not like cocoons and wasn't very eager to visit one real soon. Henry had been noticing when his buddy bugs came in, another bug came out, and it wasn't his old friend. You know, but each must take the nap, or none would learn to fly, changing slowly in cocoons until they can glide the sky. And so it's really just this kind of that story of them coming back, you know, coming back to belief It only took one glance, a moment to persuade. Henry's heart leapt with belief in the dazzling changes made. For the eyes that winked back at Henry on that day, one eye was dark blue and the other eye was gray. Joy welled up in Henry, wonder swirling in his head, his feet dancing lightly around Myrtle's vacant bed. And so it's just really it's just a very positive book. The truth about our lives, the end of it here is here. The truth about our lives is hidden underneath. Sometimes we don't know this until we look beneath the leaf. We all have trust and hope that helps us to inspire the people all around us with dreams and with desires. I know we have a purpose. I see it written in the sky. The spirit behind our life has made us born to fly. And so it's really, it gives kids, I tag that as being the spiritual principle of hope. And it's kind of just to be continued.
And the planting the seed of eternal life.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that's beautiful. And Steve, this book is Henry Hump.
Born to Fly.
Born to Fly, and you're Steve Tiller at rightstuffkids.com.
Rightstuffkids.com.
Very good. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.